Alright, so let's make some stuff. I go over to the toolbar here and grab the brush tool here. Now it's not the brush tool with the little arrow around it. That's the history brush. We're not going to get into that today. Just this good old-fashioned brush right here. And I'm going to start drawing. Now, you might have a different color, that's fine, or your brush might be a different size, that's fine. You can fix that. Just going to make some lines out here. One thing to point out that when you're drawing with the Wacom Intuos is that the default is for it to have a variable line width, so that as I press harder, the line gets thicker, and as I let up on the pressure, the line will thin out. And so you can get a nice variable width line. Once you've made a couple of strokes with the brush, go ahead and grab the eraser here. And it should behave pretty much like the brush, but it's an eraser. Now to change the size of your brush or your eraser, just go up here to the options bar. So in this case we have the eraser selected, so if I want a smaller brush, I just drag this size slider to the left, and now I have a thinner eraser. If I want a big fat eraser, I can just crank this way up, and then I can erase big areas quickly. And the same goes for my brush. I go over to the brush, I can blow this up, nice and big, or really small. So as I'm using the brush here, you can't see me do this because luckily there's not a camera on me, but with these Wacom pens, all you have to do if you want to switch to the eraser is just turn your pen around, and surprise, surprise, there's an eraser on the back. And because my eraser was so huge, I get the huge eraser. So let me give you a couple of shortcuts that I use all the time. The first one I mentioned in class is you've got these bracket keys on your keyboard right above the return key that have the little curly braces and the square brackets, and right next to it is the other curly brace with the square bracket, and that's just above the return key. And so this will decrease the size of your brush, and this will increase the size of your brush or your eraser. So as I've got my brush here, you can see the circle that represents my brush size. As I hit the right bracket key, it makes it bigger. As I hit the left bracket key, it makes it smaller. Very useful. And so I never end up going up here and doing it up here anymore. I just do it all with the bracket keys. So briefly, I'll use the bracket keys here for the eraser. Two other quick shortcuts just to throw out there because they're so simple and so commonsensical are B, which is the shortcut for the brush, and E, which is the shortcut for the eraser. So I'm so lazy, I don't even bother turning my pen around and just use the eraser on the back of that. I just work on the brush, hit the E for the eraser key, B for brush, E for eraser.